Should I go ahead and mark it back? Okay. Yeah, we're live already. Hello, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. Give us a few minutes. We're gonna set up some people. We're gonna tag in to the post before we get started. I need some water. Make sure it's picking up on mine as well. Okay, there we go. All right, all right. You got yours? All right. Okay. You ready to get started?
Oh, I'm sorry. Yes.
Hello, Sin City. Thank you for tuning in. Okay, you ready?
Yes, what?
You first.
I'm Lovely from Jay Shanique's Poetry Corner.
Hmm.
The apology. They beat me. I called you to save me, but you couldn't, so I secretly resented you. They took our babies and sold them. I begged you to save us, but you couldn't, so I secretly blamed you. They raped me, and I cried out for you to protect me, but you couldn't, so I stopped trusting you. You were supposed to be my man, my provider, my protector, but when I needed you, you couldn't be there, so I hated you. How could I let you tell me what to do when Masa could protect me more than you? How could I submit to you when you are forced to submit to Massa? So, to protect myself, I submitted to the one who could protect me and our children. I stopped trusting you. I stopped loving you. I stopped honoring you. And I stopped valuing you. So, in turn, I became valueless to you.
Okay. And I am Prezi with Street Legend Battle of the Sexes. I didn't see the frustration in your eyes when our children were sold. I didn't hear your silent cries when I was beaten. I didn't see your anger when I was being ravished. I didn't understand that you held your emotions to be strong for me. I thought you didn't care, but you wanted me to be there. You wanted to protect me, but Massa made it so you couldn't. So I couldn't trust you. I didn't see the hidden hands shaping our destiny. All I saw was my pain and the feeling that you neglected me.
For all the times I blamed you, I'm sorry. For the resentment and distrust I've held against you for centuries, I'm sorry. For the times I've let you down, for all the times I've broken your spirit with my words and my action, for the times I openly rejected you and tried to control you because I thought less of you, I'm sorry. Massa had a plan that he would work for 400 years. 400 years is over now. My eyes are wide open. I see the king in you. Please forgive me my wrongs and see your queen in me. I am Spicy Gray, and this is the Unspoken Heart Discussion Hour. This segment is dedicated in a tribute to the fathers for Father's Day. We'll give out some shout outs right now before we get started. Uh, Hello, Nikita. Thank you for tuning in. Dornice William, Sin City. Also, we have CC Health. Thank you for tuning in. Also, Rob Kelly, Faye McKenzie. Hi, Auntie. How you doing? Thank you for tuning in. John P. Baker. Thank you for tuning in. Teresa Fuller. Thank y'all for tuning in. I hope you enjoyed the show today. It is in tribute for Father's Day. And before I get into answering the questions, I know for this past week I've been observing a lot of things. And as I observe things, one thing I do want to say from myself, because I tried so hard to prove them wrong. And I want to say that I'm sorry as well as a woman. I know Ray Sorrell and a lot of men came on the podcast, and they had mentioned how we hold them at a lower standard, how we do not appreciate them. The one thing that I have experienced this week is the thing that I have to say, because I'm a type person. If I'm wrong, I'll admit, I will apologize. And my thing is that I do apologize because from what I've seen this past week, all the way up to today, I realize we as women do not show enough appreciation to our men. They are held at a lower standard. And I had to also realize that every woman does not think like I do. I know, as with me, and I know y'all probably feel the same way, is that I am a firm believer that to appreciate a man for who he is, to stand behind him, to support him, to let him know how great he is and an impact he has on our life, especially when we have children. I know we look around and we see a lot of women that tend to bash our men. We expect so much out of our men to where we don't take the time to appreciate who they are and the placement that they hold, not just in our life, but our children. As an announcement, did y'all want to say anything on that? Add anything?
No, someone's asking, can we say like what was the significance of us reading the poem we started off? Like what was it about?
Sure. I'm sorry, we should have said that. I thought that the poem spoke for itself. But like I said, this is a tribute to fathers. And when I chose that poem, which I thank Prezi for looking, we had a hard time finding it, and I was actually getting frustrated. And she came through one day and she said, "Is this it?" And I was like, "Yes." But the reason why I chose that particular one was because over the centuries, even to now, we took for granted what men stand for in our life today. We do not understand and take the time to realize their feelings, their emotions. Take the time to say, what are you thinking and what is your opinion? And as I said, when I sit back and I look at we as women and how ungrateful, and not saying that we intentionally do it, but how ungrateful we are to the men that actually plays a big part in our life. So when I seen this here years back, I seen the place as we as women, how we would quick to blame our men for things that we didn't realize how they felt, because men do hold things in. They not as emotional, as outspoken as we are. And when they do share things of emotion to us, there are some women that tend to twist that as to play the victim. Like, what about me? Well, how about me? Sometimes we got to step back and take me out the equation sometime and sit back and take their feelings into consideration. So when I seen this particular piece, I felt it was needed for this show and for us to read, to make an understanding is how I want to say I am sorry. The things that we didn't realize, the things that we didn't take the time to listen instead of quickly to just assume. So that is the reason why I chose this particular piece for us to read. And we'll go on to the announcements. We'd like to thank, I am so laughing because we had a comment with somebody, "I'm not going to eat this." But she's watching her figure. She has the perfect figure, and she's watching it. One little bite is not going to hurt you. But we like to thank Tish's Homestyle Cooking. If y'all want some homestyle cooking, whether it's cakes, pies, I seen the greens, I seen the ribs. We got to taste the lemon pepper wings, and oh my God, it was so good. But what we're going to taste right now, lovely,
His card.
it's is the peach cobbler pound cake, which was made out of her own kitchen of Tish. And if she is mobile. She makes everything straight out of her kitchen by scratch. Anything you want. You can contact her at 210-414-7717 or Tish's Homestyle Cooking at gmail.com. She is mobile. So before I go to the next announcement, Miss Lovely and etc. We're going to take a little piece to taste it so that she can see how our response is. That you're looking kind of nervous over here.
I mean, it's cake. I have no problem with cake.
I'm telling you, and it smells so good. And it has real peaches inside of it. I'm trying to grab it. It reminds me of my grandmother. Oh my goodness.
It does.
I don't see your mouth moving, lovely. I want to taste a piece with the peaches on it.
Y'all probably gonna have to go on without me.
Oh my goodness.
My focus is gone, so.
Oh my God. I had peach cobbler, but I've never had peach cobbler cake. And oh my God, this stuff is it tastes so homemade. All I need is my almond milk. I mean, I'm allergic to milk like y'all, so I gotta have the almond milk. But oh my goodness, this is good. Oh yeah. I'm gonna just take some home and warm it up. Thank you, Tish, for delivering that, you and your husband. We really appreciate it. Also, I don't have her product on today. I was intending to buy it, intended to wear it, but the calendar didn't match today. But we have a new person to support, and it's called Captivating Flaws. Take your beauty to a new level with Mrs. Yoli with captivating. See, I can't get my tongue right. That cake got me all twisted. Captivating Flaws. I know she's going to get me. She has the lipstick, and I actually bought one called, and yes, that's why I bought it. It was called Spicy. I showed it, and it spelled just like my name. And it's beautiful. I love it, and it lasts all day. And it doesn't peel like some of the lipsticks. It's real good. So y'all can hit Yoli up for your makeup needs. It's something that you deserve as a woman. I cannot speak for the men, but I'm just saying for the women. So if you want to contact her, she will deliver at 210-409-6709. Also, K&L Boutique. We want an accessories, quality service, and friendly service. They do deliver. You can also reach out to them. They also sponsored one of the gifts for today, which, as y'all know, we will be having the gift basket raffle, which you see over there. But the part two, we also will have the gift giveaway for the Father of Impact, which I had my daughter choose the letters. I didn't want to do it today because, I got kind of frustrated today. But my daughter actually chose the two letters. She put the check by it. So I don't even know yet until I open the folder. But we will be reading those letters live today, calling the person, and announcing who the winner are as we go on. So K&L Boutique and Accessory Quality Service, 210-541-2441. Or you can reach them at www.knlboutique.com. I don't know why I read that like it was candy. Probably because that cake is.
Still thinking about the cake.
Yes. And I don't know if y'all friends with Mr. Ray Sorrell on Facebook, but he had shared a post. And it was a post from a lady named Blondie. And what bothered me about it was that, I totally disagree with her. But in a way, she was trying to be comical, but she was also serious. And as much as I wanted to stop that video, I had to look at the rest of it. But when she was doing the video, she was actually totally attacking the men and spoke of them as if they were at a lower standard to humankind. She spoke of them as like they was poisonous vapors, but mostly as if men are women's life disadvantage. What I didn't like, she was more or less like saying that there is no good choice in a man. It's either one type of man or another. She mentioned, and excuse the way I said it, but this is the way she said it. Either you got a man with a good penis that's broke, that's not a good supporter, or you got a man that is a good supporter but is not good in bed. To me, those are not good examples to use to have somebody that you want as a purpose in your life.
No.
But the way she came off was very distasteful to me. And, I don't care if she's watching me or whatever, but, I'm going to say what I got to say. I feel like she was totally out of line. I feel like her theory about things was wrong. And actually, when she got to speaking, she actually proved men right. Because that's the example that she put on the screen. You know, she was totally attacking men. And I feel like the men that she named, she really didn't take time to listen where they was coming from. You know, sometimes if we don't take the time to listen at the man, we really don't know where they truly come from. Because each man, they express their way in a different level. To where if you don't sit back and actually listen, you don't know where they're coming from. You know, so, you know, this lady here, if y'all go back and look it up, you kind of see she really goes off at the mouth.
Yeah.
You know, and that's one thing the man's been complaining about. The way they dog them, the way they loud talk, the way they just go off, and they always blaming men. You know, we sit back and talk about how men stereotype us according to our body shape, to what we don't have, to the way we act. But sometimes, you know, I don't agree with the physical aspects of judging us, but I agree with when I sit back and look at when they're complaining about the women not listening and understanding and appreciating them. What is your opinion about that?
I agree with it because it's just with any situation. As a woman, we feel the same way towards men sometimes. So how can we expect them to just listen to what we say when we can't even listen to what they say and understand from their point of view and the way that they're taking it, not just the way we're saying it.
Right. How about you, Giselle?
To me, it sounds like she's coming from a place of hurt, that she just been through a lot. So she's just automatically generalizing every single man. Like,
Exactly.
you're either this, or this. And,
Like putting all of them in one
Exactly.
category.
and that's what it sounds like. And I mean, that happens when you're hurt. You're not mature enough to look at people for being who they are. Instead, you're treating everyone like the last person.
Right.
So, yeah.
Yeah. Faye McKenzie, which is my auntie, excuse me for saying your name, auntie. You know, I have all my respect for you. But she said that is true. Many times they are expressing their feelings how mothers did their fathers, and they take it out on the woman in their lives. Sin City says that she's an idiot. He says she is an idiot and broken, and I do agree with that. Not in the sense of calling her an idiot. If y'all know him, you know why I'm laughing. He's a very blunt person, but he's gonna tell it like it is. But broken, I'm gonna say yes, because, and this is what I wanted to get across, because one thing is that if you got to look at the type of men that you choose.
That's what I was about to say. Who is she attracting?
Exactly.
So what vibes is she giving off that people of that caliber are drawn to her?
Right, right. And number, get your mind right. I'm not gonna play with you, Sin, today. Faye McKenzie says, must deal with the anger. Fraser said, hey. You see what I see. But, you know, I could truly say that, you know, women need to sit back and look in the mirror, for one. These women that's like this. And one thing I had to realize, because I know when I was going through my broken period, I was afraid to open myself up, because I felt like that I was just attracting the men to hurt me, that the man was out to destroy me and cause me pain. But then when I had to sit back and I had to look, not just at the generation, the women in the generation in my family, but also as myself, I had to say, you know what? It's the men I choose. It's not all men, because there are good men out there. There are men that out there that's willing to love you and to take you in and treat you well. But my thing is, if you jump it from one relationship to another, which we spoke about before, and don't take time out to heal and actually learn from the last relationship, you're going to continue to get these type of men. That's why it's called a cycle.
Yeah.
You know, don't you agree, Zedra?
Yeah, I do, because you didn't take time to deal with it.
Yeah.
So you're still, it's not so much what you're attracting as what you choosing to deal with, because you can attract a really good man, but he doesn't meet the qualities you used to. So you just going to discard that and go for what you used to until you realize, okay, I need better than this.
Right.
Obviously there's something going on with me that I'm choosing to keep staying with these guys over and over.
Right.
So yeah, I think, some people, you attract different kinds, but it's just whether or not you give that person a chance.
Yeah, because I feel like, if you choose a low bracket of a man, then that's what you're going to get
Yeah.
is a lower grade of meat.
Yeah.
Since you want to talk about the bedroom,
Yeah.
it's all how you decide to evaluate it, or take time to get to know a person. But if you just jump in for a man just for the appearance, then you're not going to get something that you deserve. But, just like women, there's no perfect man.
No.
So you're not going to get a perfect package. But don't think you're going to take a man and mold him either.
Right. That's a big mistake.
And so, my thing is like, just like I said, if that's what you choose, that's what you're going to get. Sometimes you got to be careful what you open your sesame to. And you know what I mean. Because, you're going to get exactly what you asked for. And my thing is like, she tried to say the men's are, dogs and they're just that. I feel like this, because I know we heard a lot of women say this. Well, he ain't nothing but a dog. He is not. So being that you laid with him and you was with him, what does that make you? A flea? A tick?
Yeah.
Like, really? He ain't S. Okay, so that makes you the toilet. Mm-hmm. Let's look at the real picture. If you decide to lay with that dog, then what are you? If you decide to, if he ain't that, then what does that make you? Because actually, whatever you lay with, that's what you become. That is what you are of. Yes, there are some relationships to where there's a facade that was played. I was trapped into that before. But when you actually take the time and sit back and you realize after a while, because you got some good people that wear some good sheep.
Yeah.
It's not always the men that has sheep clothing, but it's the women behind that mask of the makeup. Especially when it come down to it, all of a sudden she pulling out these water breasts and, moving the booty pants and stuff. You ain't getting exactly what you wanted, Take time to get to know a person. But you have any shout outs you want to do?
I want to shout out Bullfrog, who made my J. Shanice porch in Corner Church. Can't really see him because the writing's like, but amazing company, amazing shirts. Shout out to Tish again. Also a sponsor and supporter for the Miss Petite pageant. I see Miss Fire is on.
With 3 eyes, because she's what? Just that hot. Yeah, and you, Zetra, you have anybody you want to shout out to?
There's one, Rosalie.
Yeah, that's my baby.
I got some of her whipped butter, and she was on it. Like she's like,
I heard me doing that.
Yes,
she's doing her thing.
she was like, I can leave it on your porch or whatever. I'm like, okay, well, I'm at work, and she's like, I'll wait a little bit later because I don't want it to melt. And she was so accommodating. So yes, shout out to her. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm proud to have her on my show too. I gotta meet my niece because I haven't seen my niece yet, and it's been months. But yeah, but as I spoke on, because we're gonna get to the father aspect. But I wanted to touch on the man because before you have children, it's you and him first. And you got to know what you're choosing. Sometimes we fall for the okie doke. Sometimes we're too quick to want to look for love to where we just settle. But I'm going to say this for the women that are bashing these men, that are talking down on these men, you're totally out of line. To me, that's a form of emotional, mental, and verbal abuse. The only time that you should be looking down on a man is to lift him up. Do y'all agree?
Yep.
Yeah, because if that's the man you chose.
Exactly.
Yeah. That's the only time that you should be looking down on him. So, as we say, before we get into the next one, the next subject, we're going to go ahead and we're going to do the gift basket raffle so that we can know who won that off the bat. Before we actually do the...
You got your cute little trash can.
I know, right? I love my little trash can I use for my raffle tickets. But as y'all see, could you hold it up a little bit? Is it too heavy?
No, look, I know it's too heavy.
And I do thank the ones that did participate in the raffle. But here we go. Who is going to be the lucky father for the gift basket raffle? Okay, close my eyes. Okay, we got a ticket. I'm gonna choke my daughter. She sealed them.
She's trying to make sure
No,
you
she's like, you make sure you can't see it. Okay, okay. Can I tell? Michael Gray. So Michael Gray is the gift basket raffle winner. I will meet you and call you later to meet you to get your Father's Day gift basket. Yay! Thank y'all for participating in that. So, okay, let me see. Make sure, because I don't even know if he's on here now. Okay, we got some other comments on here. Sin is just hilarious. Nikita McClure, hi baby. She says, my husband is golden, so I know that all men aren't dogs.
Yeah, her husband is awesome.
Yes, it's like a fairy tale.
Yes.
She says, women need to stop saying that and men as well. That's true. We need to stop tearing each other down and start lifting each other up, even when it comes down to being angry. And that's one thing I had learned was that before I'm going to say something to you out of line, I'm going to take a breather. We're going to have to take time out. Once we cool down, then we'll come back and we'll talk. You know, but it doesn't look good on us when we're tearing each other down and then we go back and say we love each other. That's not love.
Yeah.
You know, when you're hurting one each other.
There you go.
Stephanie Naya said, I love y'all. Thank you, Michael Best, for tuning in. Sin City says, at Miss Faye, yes, they do have the right to express themselves, but at the same time, she's spreading poisonous thoughts to other people that can affect how they think, and that's false. Nikita McClure says, yes, Rosalie. Faye McKenzie says, I am enjoying myself, but I must go. Thank you, Auntie, for tuning in. Sin City says, hurt and pain needs to be what? Something you deal with before you speak on it. Have clarity on what the issue is first before you spread poison to someone else's mind. I agree. Stephanie Naya says, sometimes it's generally what you have seen as a man and as a woman. Generationally? Okay, okay. And Sin City said, I agree, Steph. Thank you, Tony, for tuning in. Nikita said, yay! My brother won. Yeah. Sin City says, he won last time. Laugh.
He didn't win last time. His wife
That
won.
was his wife. They can't help that.
He said, laugh out loud, just kidding. Congrats, brother. Nikita said, I miss y'all. Stephanie says, everyone has been hurt or broken at one time or another. True. Hurt people hurt people. So heal to give each other your best self. That's true. Stephanie says, congratulations, Michael Gray. Sin is a trip. Did he have sugar today or something?
He always has sugar with the vinegar.
He is hilarious. Okay. Okay. Now you have women who feel they deserve to be treated like a queen and yearns to possess what they call a king. But in order to attain that, first you have to present him a throne. What do y'all feel I meant by saying that?
I think you meant by saying that as if you expect to be treated like a queen. One, you have to act like someone who deserves to be treated like a queen. You can't just expect him to do everything. Again, when you're in a relationship, it's both of you. Both of you have to submit to each other. Both of you have to understand each other's needs and hurts as well. You should know like the broken parts of your partner and accept them. Conversation, you can't expect a king to be a king if you're not uplifting him and treating him as your king as well.
Exactly. Prezi?
Yeah, I agree. It's like saying that you can't expect an angel if all you're giving them is hell. So it's like if you want him to be a king and you want her to be a queen, you got to show that.
Right.
You have to, like Lovely said, you submit to one another. You
Right.
hold each other up. You treat each other special. different from everyone else. So that way you know that is your place. That's no one else holds that.
Exactly. And, a lot of women, feel like that, oh, I'm a queen and I'm a queen. But what do you define as a queen?
Exactly.
Because some of these girls call themselves a queen, but you got your, your biscuits hanging out in the back of your shorts. You showing your breasts. A queen represents herself in a royalty stance.
I think it's like it's two different things. Those that are like that think of themselves as a queen as in I'm above all. Like I'm special. And then you have those that see themselves as a queen as in, my spirit, my mind is on a different level. I'm not, I think more of myself. I'm in tune with myself. So it's two different definitions of queens depending on the person you're talking to. Because you got some people like, Queen Bee. Yes, I am that girl. I am that it's a whole
Or
different
the
mind frame.
HBIC.
Exactly. It's two different mind frames, but it's the same word. Like if that makes
Exactly.
sense.
It is.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, because, to be a queen, you got to actually uphold yourself with respect, have morals, value yourself. And, a lot of women don't realize, men can recognize a woman that is loose than a woman that has respect for herself. They're not stupid.
And you won't be a queen.
Okay, Sin City, you drank four bottles of water. Okay, I get it.
No, he didn't, Stephanie.
Now, it just, a lot of women, they expect a lot from a man. But my thing is, what are you offering that man? I think, it's not so much as you get respect. If you give respect, you got to respect one another. Just like, I had this one friend, and I can talk about it because we haven't seen each other anymore in 20 years. But the thing about it is that she had a real good man. He was in the service, and she stayed at home and babysit. Now, she would talk to him very, very brutal. But when he came home from work, now mind you, when you're in the service, you're getting up at 5 and 6 o'clock in the morning. But he came home, and he would wash the clothes. And now, mind you, the wash and dryer is down in the basements. We stayed in quarters. And then, like, if she wanted to leave, the kids that she was getting paid to babysit, he would sit there so she can go somewhere. I'm not going to say where she was going because I didn't agree with it.
Yeah.
But she called me one night. She said, well, he left one pan of enchiladas in there. He put up the rest of the kitchen. So I went off on him. I said, so really? I said, you went off because he forgot one pan in the oven. I said, now, I'm your friend, and I'm going to tell you the truth. One, you have something that a lot of women out here are waiting on. And you're not treating him good. You're going to lose him. You don't find every man that does what he does for you, rubbing your feet, and she never did that for him. But will go left on him in a minute. And I would sit back and like, are you serious? You got somebody treating you with such royalty, and you're abusing that. She did lose him. And that's what women got to realize, be careful how you handle a man, because a man can take so much. Especially when he sees a woman that's going to offer him something that he deserves. He never cheated on her or anything, as far as I know. But I can't say that for the other side. But we got to learn how to appreciate the men that come in our life. Because, I don't know if you've been in that situation before you got engaged. I ain't starting no trouble. But as a single woman, I sit back and the men that I did have in my life, they would say, you are a good woman to me. And the thing about it is that you sit back and you see these women that mistreat these men that's really been good to you. And you're like, what is it about her that attracted him to her? Because she's always been loud. She's always cussed people out. And if she fought her brothers, what make you think she ain't going to fight you? So, they got to observe what they invite in. Some guys find that attractive, but then once you get into a relationship and it's an ongoing thing because that's what you chose, then you're going to get tired and then you want to complain. That's just like if you met her as a stripper And then when you marry her, then you want her to change the way she dress, and she gonna no. Well, bruh, everybody done already seen what you got. You know what I'm saying? And how are you gonna get upset about the way she dressing now, being that she's with you, when that's how you met her? Do you agree?
Yeah.
Yes.
So Stephanie says a man wants to be uplifted, respected, honored, and physical and emotional love. True. A woman can't give that to anyone if she doesn't know what those things are. I agree. Sin says, I was with you, Spicy, till you mentioned rubber feet. What the hell? If you love a person, you rub their feet. I would do it.
Yeah.
Love has no boundaries, Sin. We're not going to play. But now, what we'll go on to is that what I researched, and I love to research. Yes, but the nation's first Father's Day was celebrated on June 19th, 1910. I was thinking that it always existed. And in the state of Washington. It wasn't until 1972, I was 2 years old, 58 years after President Woodrow Wilson made Mother's Day official, that the day honoring fathers became a nationwide holiday in the United States. Did you know that?
Yeah.
You did? That was a shock to me because I didn't know. I'm like, okay, we always had daddies, so I just thought that it always existed. So Father's Day is a day of honoring fatherhood and paternal bond, as well as the influence of fathers in societies. Now, the one thing that we have, y'all gotta excuse me because I'm gonna be fanning because sister girl going through some hot flashes. Okay. The one thing I did want to touch is, like, I know a lot of people try to shy away from it, is that when it comes down to fathers and you're not together no more, you have women's that use the children as a weapon in order to hurt the father. But in my opinion, you're not honestly hurting the father. You're hurting him, but you're hurting the child more.
Yeah.
I mean, what is y'all perspective on that?
I think it's a lot of immaturity. It's a lot of, you hurt me, so I'm gonna hurt you because I know you love these kids.
Right.
So it's a lot of that, and it's a person that's used to having their way. So when you up and leave, it's like, oh, okay, I can no longer get my way. Well, how can I get back at you? And that's what it is. Like you said, it's just hurting the kids in the long run. It's hurting that relationship and bond that they're trying to have with the father, and the father's trying to have with their kids.
Right. I know you love your fiance, but me and him about to get into it. I'll deal with you after the show, Sin.
I agree with Prezi. It is, and Spicy as well. You're not doing anything but hurting the child, trying to use your child as a pawn to either see that man, or you're mad because he's happy now without you. Has nothing to do with your child. For me, whether I'm with my father's child or the father of my child or not, I always send gifts. I make sure they call on Father's Day.
Right.
I make sure that if they want to spend time with them on Father's Day, that they do, because they are still their father. And just because I may feel some way doesn't mean that my child feels that way. Most children see no fault in any one of their parents, no matter who left or what happened or if they have new siblings or not. So I just don't feel like, unless it's something harmful to your child, that it's your place to keep them away.
Yeah, and see, I've always, because like I've been a single parent for a long time, and the one thing I did not believe in is putting the children in the middle of things. My relationship with my children is not the same as a relationship with him. Their relationship with their father is not the same with me. So it's like, no matter how I felt about him, whether he paid child support or not, and no, it didn't go on my hair and nails, but my thing is that that's their relationship with their dad. Whenever they wanted to talk to their dad, I would say, here's the phone, go in the other room. I didn't interfere with their relationship with their dad. If they wanted to see their dad, I would take them to their dad, drop their dad, or meet their dad, and I'll go along my way. Because my thing is, as they get older, my big pet peeve was I did not want my kids to be angry at me for coming in between something they could have with their dad. Because the way he is with me, that doesn't mean he's the same way with his children. And I just never been that vindictive person to where, okay, he hurt me, so I'm gonna hurt him back.
Yeah.
I don't use my kids. The kids, we didn't have children to use them as weapons
Yeah.
because it doesn't look good. That doesn't make you a woman. That doesn't make you a real good mother to do that. And when you talk about child support, my thing. I mean, everybody else might be different, but I can say one of them were on child support. But the way that I started off was that, long as he helped me out with the kids, I didn't believe in child support because I'm like, he's doing his part. I shouldn't have to have somebody to mediate what he pays for his children. But the only reason why he ended up on child support was the fact was when he got to the point to where I didn't want to meet him to get the kids because of the atmosphere between me and him. I said, okay, I'll drop to your sister. You pick him up from there, and you drop him. Well, he was like, well, if I can't get the kids from you, then you get some other, excuse the way I say this, but this was his exact words. He said, you get some other nigga to take care of them. So, I sat back and I just looked at him. So I say a month later, he calls me blowing up. And he said, so you put me on child support? And I said, well, you told me to get some other nigga to take care of him, so I got Greg Abbott. My thing is that we should be able to sit down, just like I told the second father, we should be able to sit down and be able to communicate and at least be friends in front of our children to show them a healthy relationship. Show them that we can get along. No, it shouldn't be just one person taking care of those children. We should be able to come together and help together because we both decide to have these children.
Exactly.
To help each other. I mean, but you have a lot of people, especially women, that have this bitter sense. Well, no, he's with this woman, so no, I don't want my child around him. That's not for you to dictate. My ex-husband ended up getting remarried, and I truly thank God for the stepmother my children had. We end up being women coming together, talking to each other, and she respected me as the biological mother. We end up being friends, laughing and talking to where our kids actually saw the way things were supposed to be in a healthy way. Even when it got to the point to where I fell into a bind with my job, to where she said, okay, let's all have a meeting. And it was her idea, not his. We're not taking the kids from you, but let the kids come stay with us. Go to school there. Once you find a place, then you come back and get the kids. It was hard for me to do that, but I did what was best for my children.
Right.
When I did get a home, it didn't take me a year. It didn't take me 6 months, but I went and got my kids. Even when it came down to school time, well, whatever you can't get on the list, check it off and I'll get the rest. This is a stepmother. Mm-hmm. This is the type of relationship that is healthy for the kids to see. Not seeing that the women are bad-mouthing each other to the children or bad-mouthing the dad or fighting in front of the children. That's not healthy. That's not showing them a healthy relationship and their maturity or how to handle a relationship when they get older.
Yeah.
Y'all have something else to say on that?
Just on that, you're right, and it causes anxieties and different things that are long term in your child's life to even put them through that or see the bickering, the arguments. And again, it's like it takes two mature people to do that.
Exactly.
A lot of people are not, unfortunately.
Yes. And, like I said, there's fathers that, like even now with the COVID going on, they're losing their jobs. They're out of work. So why are you still going at him about giving you some money? My thing is that when it came down to the fathers, if they helped me out with gas, if they helped me with anything, I reported that. I added that to that child support. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to say in my shoes, and I know everybody's different, being that that's my kid's dad, there's no way that I'm going to sit back and allow him to go on the streets and be hungry.
Exactly.
I would not. That's at the end of the day. This is a man that I laid with and had children with. There's no way I would take him a plate of food, and I have done it. But you have women that's not mature enough to do that. So it's like we look out for each other. It's nothing about being in love with each other. It's nothing about getting back with one another. At the end of the day, that's still my kid's dad. Yeah. Now we had some comment. You know what? I'm gonna have to stop having Cynthia on the show because he got me tongue tied. Nikita McClure. She says, I rub my husband's feet every night. That is something we do at the end of the night, both as we talk about our day. I love that. I really do. Now, Sin City. You want to read his comment?
Sin City says, Nikita, I used to have love for you, LOL. Hell no to the no, hell no.
Lord have mercy. Tashina Miller says, me too. Rosalie said, me too. Yeah, Rosalie put the video up of her husband rubbing her feet. Like, girlfriend, really? I'm sitting at home by myself in the bed. I ain't got nobody rubbing my feet. And my kids won't even touch. I'm talking about, bruh, really? Nikita says, brother, my husband's feet is nice and soft. I make sure of that. And she got the fist.
Because she be rubbing his feet for him. See?
Yes. Yes. I'm going to ask, I know people see me on the show. I'm going to ask that y'all will please hold y'all inbox messages that are popping across the screen. Sin City says, laugh out loud, so I'm good on that. I love my lady from the Echo Tower. I hate feet, laugh out loud. Stephanie says, once again, when you trace negative behavior in adults, you will come to understand why a woman or a man acts the way they do. Sometimes you can know what to do that's right, but subconsciously some of y'all can call in. The number is 512-668-2814. You can call in to these paragraphs, okay? She says, subconsciously you do what you're seen and taught as a child. Correct. Nikita says, I've never been into that child support stuff. Just take care of your kids as you should. Exactly. Stephanie Naya says, children growing up and see parents for exactly who they are. Children love unconditionally, no matter really what a parent does, right or wrong. Sin City says, agree. Facts, Stephanie Nyers. Nikita said, that is a real woman. Stephanie says, Sin, are your feet... She says, as your feet dry and crusty. I guess she's going to have to have a pedicure if they are. Sid says, actually, no, they are not. I just never like feet. They can be pretty, but not my cup of tea. Laugh out loud. Stephanie says she was an emotional, healthy woman. Spicy. Sin City says spicy, not spivey. Thank you, Sid. Hello, Jesse Givens. Thank you for tuning in. He says, good evening, ladies. Stephanie says she's an emotionally healthy woman. Spivey. I love y'all too. You just don't know. I love y'all so much. Okay. As we got to talking about, oh, what happened?
Oh, it moved down.
Okay, probably when I clicked on it. Let me see here. Excuse me, y'all. Our screen like kind of small. There we go. We're back. As we speak on that, we also speak on with the child support. And, like I said, I really didn't like having them on child support. But in country position, look, you need to help me with these children. But the one thing that a lot of ladies get misconstrued is that what child support is truly for. Now, my thing is, just like the judge stood before me and my ex-husband, the kids stay in the house. They're using the utilities. They're using the water. They're driving in their vehicle, the food and everything. Child supports go on that, including clothes and everything. But when it goes to the point to where your children are going around looking raggedy but you got your hair, your nails done, full face full of makeup. And we're not just talking about
Name brand
good
clothes.
name brand
If you got
clothes.
Walmart shoes.
Exactly. But yes, I see your child with pants that look like knickerbockers, faded, bleach stains. I have a problem with that
Yeah.
because that's not what the child support is for. Child support is not intended for you to take care of your boyfriend or live-in friend or whatever you want to call them. The child support is mainly for the children. And, um, I'm just going to say this. I really don't respect women that do that. I really don't. If you have a man living with you and he ain't working, it's not the other father's responsibility to take care of your current man. It's his responsibility to take care of that child.
Yep.
Yeah.
If the man that's living with you don't understand that, then he needs to go. And that's just my opinion.
Right.
Okay. Now, do y'all have anything that y'all want to speak on?
I agree with you 100% on what you said. It's like I said, my children are always gonna look better than me with or without your child support. But if the father is providing, although we do know that expenses exceed child support most of the time because you have sports and other things that your children are into. But as long as like that money is directly for your child, not even if they use it all or not, even if you want to put it away in a college fund,
Right.
because there are going to be expenses that always continue with your child. Your child's always going to be your child, grown or not.
Right.
So even if you're making it and you have enough money to take care of everything, again, you can start a savings for them, scholarship funds, anything towards that child. You're never going to take care of, no man for my kids.
Yeah,
so.
and it's not your ex's responsibility to take care of you either.
Exactly.
Especially if you got a man. My thing is, I know a lot of women, they depend on the child support in
Yes.
order to make a living. I've never been that type of woman. I still got my job because my thing is that I wanted my children to have the best. I wanted to be able to give them the best of me. So as a woman, I didn't focus on what he was doing and what he wasn't doing. My focus and what was important to me was what my kids seen as my stand in their life.
Yeah.
What mommy did for them, not what daddy's doing. And to belittle these fathers to their children, I really do not like. That's one thing my kids could always say, especially my son when he went to have a man-on-man talk with his dad. He says, we're not here to talk about mom. That's one thing mom never did. She never bashed you to us. And I'm not going to sit here and allow you to do that to her. And, I was very proud of him with that because if you're going to focus on your child, focus on a child. It does not have to do with that mother. It doesn't have to do with that father. Focus on your place with that child as a mother without bringing in the father. Now, the one thing I can say, when I did bring in the word of a father out of my mouth, was when my children did get angry with him. I would never allow them to disrespect their dad.
Yeah.
I would always tell them, no, you're going to respect your dad. No matter what, at the end of the day, that's still your dad. But mom, he did this and that. Okay, then you need to leave it to God. Pray about it. But he will reap what he sow. But you are not going to disrespect him. And, I've seen on some of these posts where mothers sit back and let that child cuss their dad. I don't know if y'all seen that. And I was sitting there like, are you serious? Okay, now the child don't need to whoop and she do.
Yeah.
Because she's out of line for allowing that. Because, even with my son, when his dad says, get on the phone. No, I don't want to talk. No, I'm not gonna. No, you're going to get on the phone. You're going to respect your dad. It has to do with the fact of coming together so these kids won't manipulate y'all. So they know that you're on the same note in order to raise these children together. As you might say, co-parent. So before I mention, and we call it Nick, this first person, y'all have anything to say on that? Is that true? Because I know you haven't said too much.
I mean, yeah, I think the child needs to be respectful, but you also need to hear your child's feelings out. Like they feel like they can express it. Like if they're mad with their parent, they feel like they can tell you, this is why I'm upset, or this is what's going on, without feeling some kind of way about that. But yeah, I get that. And I mean, I go through that because my little girl is little, and sometimes she
Yeah.
do not want to
Yeah.
talk on the phone. Like,
Yeah.
she's not a phone person. She's not even in kindergarten, so of course she's not a phone person. So I had to explain that to her father. She is a little kid. She does
Yes.
not feel like talking.
Right.
And, you know, she'll get on the video thing so he could see. She doesn't want to talk right now. I mean,
Yeah.
that's
I
just
mean,
what it
I
is.
understand that, but I'm
Yeah.
talking about as in
It's
discipline.
special.
Yeah.
If your dad is disciplining or he's talking to you pertaining to something you do wrong, you're not going to tell him, throw the phone down and say, I'm not going to talk to you.
Yeah. No.
Now, if
Like-
they're in a mood, I'm like, well, just give him some time.
Yeah.
And he'll come and he'll talk. Okay. Since you're closer to me, I'm going to have you hold this up. And we're going to do the first gift giveaway. I do appreciate the ones that I am caught. Got my hands snagging this way. But we're going to call the first person. Like I said, it was my daughter, Keyshawn Scott, who chose the ones of impact for the letter. And so we're going to call the first person at hand. And this one here, I could say was the most impactful, if I could see the numbers. And let's get him on the phone. Is it ringing? I don't hear the phone. I don't hear the phone. Check this here. Oh, you know what? I know how to do this with mine. Let me take the cover off first. I think that could be a problem too. Give us just a minute. Try to get the hookup for the phone call. Okay. Okay, I think they actually call it back.
I'm like, you,
Okay. Hello? Can you hear me? The volume, wait a minute. Yeah, the volume. The blue one? Hello? No, I still don't hear anything. Give me just a second. We're going to call you right back. Because I can't hear him at all.
You call it right now.
Okay, you ready?
Go ahead and call. You hear it ringing?
I don't hear ringing. It's not ringing.
if it don't, you can just put on speakerphone.
Yeah, it's probably something with the line. You can't hear it.
Okay, so we're going to do it.
Unplug it and just put it on speakerphone.
Yeah, try it again.
Let me call a different number because I hate it. He's going to be like, who's this keep calling me? There you go. I didn't answer it. Okay, I'm going to get this together. Okay, let's call him now. There we go.
Hello?
Hi, my apologies. I was having trouble with my phone.
Okay.
This is a Spicy Gray with Unspoken Heart, and I'm trying to reach Mr. Philip Pettit.
This is him.
Hi, Mister. This is Spicy Gray again, and we had a gift giveaway going on for Father's Day,
Okay.
and what it required was that somebody sent in a letter of an impactful father, and I'm going to read this to you what they wrote. Okay.
Okay.
Okay, it says, my father is one of the best men in my life. I'm actually really proud of him for the journey he has took. Even though he is technically my stepdad, I don't see it that way. I don't care what anyone says, that man is my father, and nothing will change that. We have recently made a decision together that changed our lives, and last month we were baptized together, and all of our sins were washed away. Neither of us have had a perfect past, but through the baptism we conquered every battle and obstacle we had ever gone through. I'm praying and hoping he wins a little something. If not, I'm going to have to try and buy him something amazing because he's really an amazing father. I'm 21 years old, and he has been a part of my life since I was 2 years old. He has never missed a game, a birthday, an award ceremony, or a praise dance performance. He has been there since day one and has told me everything about a man that I need to know. He's been there through sick days and for hospital visits. I cannot think of a time that he hasn't been there. Now that I'm older, I truly realize how much he has sacrificed for not only myself, but our family, to make sure we did not go without, whether it was a want or a need. I remember like yesterday, I called him and told him that a boy at school was picking on me. He left work that day to come to my rescue and protected me. Small things like that just give me a sense of security and protection, which is a wonderful feeling. From daycare to college, he hasn't missed a beat. So glad that God saw fit for him to be my father. Love, Sierra.
Oh, wow.
So her letter was chosen, and
Yes, ma'am.
I will give you a call after the show to meet with you
Okay.
to receive your Father's Day gift.
Yes, ma'am. I appreciate y'all.
No problem. Much love, and you have a happy Father's
Congratulations.
Day.
You too. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you for that, Sierra. I try to hold back my tears, so. Yeah, we got another one in just a minute. Um, Now, we was talking about belittling the father to the children. I want to give y'all this time to kind of speak on that in your opinion when it comes down to something like that. Well, let Zetra go first.
I don't think talking to your child about adult things anyway is the right thing to do. Whether it's about their parent, whether it's about I don't know how I'm gonna do this bill this month, like things like that, because kids only got so long to be kids. You need to let them be in that place. And you get so many people where their child is like their best friend and they feel like they can tell them everything, but that child is still a child. So the way you see that man or the way you see that woman is not the same way that that child's gonna see it. And you're trying to put your feelings, your emotions, your vision onto that child so that child sees it the same way, and that's not right to do that.
Exactly. Lovely.
And Zetra pretty much wrapped it up. But yes, I believe you should let a child be a child. They shouldn't have to deal with the stresses that adulthood carries until
Exactly.
they get to there and have their own. Again, they're never going to feel the same way that you feel about their parent. So it just makes you look like the bad one for you to talk bad about the missing mom or dad because now some of the women walk away and leave their child, and there's a lot of single fathers.
Yes.
So it's just immature. Find another adult, and I don't even know why the other parent would be the bulk of your conversation.
Exactly.
All you need to do is make sure you're just peaceful enough in front of your child to make sure that they're able to see them, not voice your personal opinions about their other parent because, again, at the end of the day, they're going to look at you as the bad guy. You're not doing any justice for yourself by doing that.
Yeah. Now, what about if you're in a situation to where you have a stepdad, as we had, called just now, and then you have the biological dad, and you have women that feel like they're stuck in the middle because you have this friendship with the ex and getting along with them for the sake of the child, but then you have this present stepfather that really doesn't feel comfortable with you going off with him, whether it's dropping off the child or speaking to him about the child. How do y'all feel about that, and how should she be able to deal with a situation like that?
That conversation should have happened before you got into a relationship
Thank you.
so that they can understand that I am doing this for my child. They should also be secure enough in themselves to know that
they
there's
got.
nothing else there.
Exactly.
But that's still my child's father. I'm
Right.
not going to not allow my child to see his father or vice versa just because someone else. And if they're not ready for that type of mature relationship or situation, then they shouldn't have got involved in it in the first place. So,
Exactly. And that goes back to where we need to stop just jumping into this relationship because somebody looks so good. You know, because everything that look good ain't really good for you. And, you know, I'ma say I'm knocking on 50 and I'm like, okay, I'm getting older. I can't be too particular, you know.
yeah,
But I ain't gonna
you
settle.
can.
Is that true?
So, uh, when it comes to situations like that, so me and my ex-husband were not friendly, but we're cordial because we have to raise a child. But my partner is a part of all of that.
Right.
They're a part of drop-offs. They're a part of conversations because whether my ex-husband likes it or not, this is who is raising this child with me right now. And you know, my ex lives like over 1,000 miles away. So you're not here for the day to day. So whatever happens in the household, I let him know, hey, this is what happened. But it's like, you know, you're still the father, but you got to understand that this is where the child's being raised.
Right.
This is what's going on. And at first, yeah, he didn't like my partner, but I'm like, that's not really your decision.
Right.
Because you're not going to run my household. Once we got divorced, that ended that. You are more than welcome to say how you feel, but it needs to be something valid.
Right.
Not just because you don't like that person, you don't want somebody around your child. Like you, unless you plan on staying with that other parent of your child's going to have somebody else in their life.
Exactly. And it's to
And
be
people got to
accepted.
understand that. Like you have to, and you have to get past that in order to give your child a beautiful upbringing.
Yeah, because I know there are some men that do it, but it's more women that do it that get that jealousy streak where they feel like, okay, he's with that woman, I don't want him with her, you know, calling her off the name and everything. But at the end of the day, my thing is, there's a reason why y'all exes and people don't understand English, but there's a reason why you're ex. That means that between you and that person is done. You know, if that person left you due to abuse, because of something you've done, then my thing on that is that if you knew how to treat him before it got to this point, then you wouldn't have to be in this position that you're in right now.
Right.
You know, so you know you have to appreciate what you got because once it's gone, it's gone.
Exactly.
You know, just like I said, you know, like my exes come back and they like, oh yes, you're a good woman to me, and I didn't appreciate it, and I didn't see what I have. Well, too late.
Yeah.
Because I don't go backwards, I go forward,
Yeah.
and that's just my opinion. Stephanie Naya says a man knows exactly what type of woman he's laying down with. She didn't start taking care of the children less than herself. Once the child support started.
And that is true because they're going to show that signs before then. She's going to show she was selfish before then. It's not just because she's getting child support now that she started acting that way. Like you would have noticed that, but some people, them red flags look pretty when you
Or
try to
if
be
you
with a
were
person.
the one that took care of her the whole time you were together, that's where your child support gonna
Exactly,
go to.
like-
Still taking care of her, nails, hair, whatever, Gucci bags.
Yeah, because I mean, it's like when I got divorced, the judge was like, "Well, I'm gonna award you spousal support for what? I don't want spousal support." He said because I know you're accustomed to a certain type of living. First of all, that's what made it hard for me to leave.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want him to pay child. I don't want him to pay child support. I just want him to help me to take care of the kids, and that's it. I can make it myself to take care of myself.
Yeah.
Me personally, I didn't want the spousal support. You know, but you got women out here that they want the spousal support, and then when they found out that he's with another woman, then they were like, "Oh, I need to up this."
Yeah.
Like take more from him, and you know, I don't agree with that because at the end of the day, like I said, you was in love with this man at one point. You laid down and had children with this man, and my thing is, the kid's dad, the man that you had kids by, why would you want to see him fail? Why would you want to see him suffer? I don't understand that because I told my exes, both of them, I hope the best for you. All I want is for y'all to be happy. You know, but you got women that's out here that want to sit here and gloat off of a man's failure. And I feel like that's unfair.
Yeah.
You know? So, you know, it just, you know, like I said at the beginning, I apologize because there's a lot of things I've seen this week that
that, I mean, like I told Lala when I came in, I say I'm frustrated, and that's what I was frustrated about, because I'm like, I'm seeing that, you know, I said one thing I wanted to prove was that my big brother was wrong, that we do appreciate them, that we do hold them up to a certain standard. But then when I got to seeing things this week, I was like, he's right. My big brother was right. You know, we have had them held at a lower standard. We have not appreciate who they truly are. And even like today, it just like, you know, I don't think that you can't buy love, for one. But when I have a man, I believe in offering my whole heart, showing him I appreciate him. To me, there's no mile that's too far. There's no such thing as that I'm too busy. If I'm in a relationship, I should, and I love this person been here for me and has made an impact on me and my children's life. I can at least take 5 minutes to show him myself, offer him myself, to show I do love you, I do appreciate you, how much you been in my life. But anytime a woman sit there, you know, because girl, I want to start this one lady say, oh, that's all he gonna get. And her friend asked her, say, well, what did you get for Mother's Day? Girl, you see this expensive watch? And I got this rose. And he be posed at me. And I'm like, sitting there, I'm like, this, no. That she doesn't appreciate the type of man she feels. She feels like the way she was speaking was as if she was entitled for him to do all that he's done for her. But she don't have to.
Yeah.
And my thing is, if you're in that type of position, you, to me, don't deserve to have somebody that valuable.
But the crazy thing is, they always end up with
Yes.
someone like that. Like every time, I'm like, what?
And that was my question. Why do y'all men go for these crazy girls? I mean, one guy said that turned me on. I'm like, what? I even had one of my sister's ex, I mean, she like stabbed him and he was like, but I still love her.
I think like with some guys, that's what they're used to. That's what they grew up seeing.
Yeah.
So to them, that's normal. And it's not like that's toxic for men as well. But they don't see
Exactly.
it as being toxic. They see it as being normal.
Yeah, but I mean, how could you be attracted to somebody that's crazy?
But-
I'm not attracted. I'm running. No. So we're going to do the next drawing before I go to the next subject about the way you get a man is the way you're supposed to keep him. Talking about the parents. So we're going to go to the next letter. This is the brown one. The next letter. So, and like I said, this is all on my daughter. She actually didn't see the names or the the names or the pictures. She read what it said, and that's what was impactful to her. So we're gonna call this next person, which is okay. Let's see here. I'm gonna have to look on the other phone. Hold on just a second. Because I actually have this number in my phone. Here we go. I gotta skip because I'm just not getting used to this business phone. That's a shame. I can't even see the rest of the number. Lord, I'm sweating on this one.
Hello?
Hi, Mr. Sin City. How you doing?
What's going on?
Not much. You already know who I am and where I'm from, so I'm not going to even get into all that. But you already know about the Father's Day impact, and a letter was sent over to me. So I'm going to read the letter to you, and you know we're going to hold our smart comments, okay? Because if not, you're going to be rubbing some feet. I am writing because I feel like this father should win the Father's Day giveaway. He started off as a single father who went and brought his son out of a bad situation.
and took on being a single father. He has come into my life and stepped up as a father to my own children, as well for the past 10 years. He has worked our jobs just to make sure he could provide for him and his son. He has been there as a coach and a role model to our children. Although we have had our ups and downs, he never let that intervene with being a great father and a man. When he had to be, he has also stepped up and cooked, cleaned, and took kids to and from school and sports activities so that I would not feel overwhelmed. I really am grateful and appreciative of all he has added and done in our lives. Many know him as Mr. Sin City. I know him as Big T. Congratulations, you have won the gift giveaway.
Nice. Thank you. I got company right now, so I'm not finna shed no tears over here.
So I think you'll be rubbing some feet tonight.
You ain't rubbing no feet. I don't care what I want.
Okay, thank you so much, and I'll see you right after the show.
Thank you, ma'am.
You're welcome. That's our comedian right there. So, so we have these shows here, and I mean, I really enjoy doing these, for the Mother's Day and for the Father's Day, and it's just it brings us a lot of joy. I know we had a lot of tears, and even the guys last time was in the corner and had, they was home by trying to be all tough, but these letters they do mean a lot. We are gonna be doing this every year. We also gonna be having the Christmas event. So we'll talk about that later on down the line. So what we got a special treat, and we're going to bring her on in just a minute. So if y'all would just give us a few minutes while we get that together. Do not leave. Stay tuned. And we have something, as I say, tribute of the fathers.
Testing. Hi. So I'm going to read a poem written by Lovely, which is me, called We Appreciate You. In a world full of appreciation for women, I want to take this time out to appreciate our men. Many people look at this one time a year. Even then, when it comes to our men, no one truly shows they care. Let's be real. Without our men, no one would be here. We as women cannot procreate without you, no matter how hard we may try. The word woman couldn't even exist without man. Whoa, man. I'll say it again. So please, let's stop downplaying our black men's worth. I understand a lot of us have been hurt. However, if we expect to be viewed as individuals, uncategorized, unstereotyped, then who are we to continuously shout, all men, they all, and judge based off his crowd? Look, on this day and every day, my man, my king, has nothing to worry about. I believe in the worth of a real man. I'm here to support your every fantasy, your dreams. Whatever your heart can desire, always count me in, never out. I will stand by your side, shout the loudest through the biggest crowd, cooking, cleaning, putting it down. Take your shoes off. I know your days can get long. Massage your back, your feet, and your back again. Having a good man is a blessing, not a sin. How could sin possibly come from such fine architecture? Looking into your hypnotic brown eyes, getting lost in your strong arms, passionate embrace. The scent of your cologne lingers in my clothes. That's the scent I brought you, 'cause I pay attention to what you like. Did you get the note I left by your bubble bath? Just saying I love and appreciate you. How seeing you in my mind makes me laugh. No lie. Without you, I couldn't be a mother. Some women forget, but I admire you, brother. Appreciate you every single day. How you can feel the world sometimes active as you don't exist. How Father's Day gifts are to-do list. I won't buy you ties, tools, or underwear. What do you want? Tell me. I'm listening, all ears. Let me put down this phone when you hurt. I'm here to hold and comfort you. It's okay. I know men have fears too. You hurt, cry, need hugs, soft words, just as we do. After all, you're only human. I got you, boo. As a woman, you're woman. I'll be the first to admit, sometimes the ones that sacrifice so much, we often forget. It's the presence of strength, not allowing others to see you cry. With me, my king, there's nothing you ever have to hide. From queen to king, with me, you'll never be alone. Speak life into your foundation, ladies. He'll build a forever home. Be his peace, not his enemy. Lovely. Now here's Spicy.
Y'all snaps up to that beautiful piece in tribute for Father's Day. Thank y'all for tuning in to the Unspoken Heart. We had a good time today. I want to thank Prezi with the Battle of Sexes and Lovely with Jason Eeks Poetry Corner for joining in with the Unspoken Heart. Happy Father's Day to all of you, and you have a blessed one.